pair of tennis shoes, some Nike Air Maxes, and a size 12. I couldn't wear them. I gave them to him. He didn't want them. He wanted Vans. No, he likes to skateboard. He likes to take pictures of the sunset.
He's a good dude.
His son, and he loves photography.
They're always killing the good ones.
You know, I'm from LA, so we had a saying for guys like that. We called them Valley Boys because they were not from the tracks. They weren't from the streets. You know, they used to skateboard and surfboard and, you know, things that we didn't do. So that was Tyre.
What, if anything, would you say if you could speak to these 5 officers who could have been Tyre on the wrong day out of
No, they sure as hell couldn't. They were good people.
The way that they treated him.
Good people don't do things like that.
He was a brother, even though someone was saying bruh as they were talking to him and beating him. But as someone who didn't have a right to live. And it's shocking when it's to see black men who should know what that would be like doing that. What would you say to them?
What I would want to say to them is they messed with the wrong kid. But, you know, as my wife said, we pray for them too. We pray for their families, you know, because he's disgraced their whole family, from grandmothers to kids. You know, they have to bear the brunt of what their parents did or what their sons did. And it's shameful. You know, like I said,
hold on.
So we have a group of cops out there we used to call the Goon Squad. And they would do the same type of thing that they're doing here. But back then we didn't have all these video cameras and all these tapes, and so a lot of people were brutalized and, you know, nothing became of it. So I don't understand how they thought that they could get away with it in today's time with all of these cameras. You know, I heard the defense attorney saying that this Mr. Mills guy was such a great guy. You know, and he probably was in his community around his family. But when he's in these streets, he turns into a monster. Because these was monsters that did this to my son.
They were demons.
You know, as my wife said, my son weighed 150 pounds. Each one of these officers was over 200. That's 1,000 pounds beating on my son, using him as a piñata, you know. All this unnecessary force that was really not needed for a kid that wasn't resisting or just trying to get home to his parents. That doesn't make common sense to me.
I don't think it makes common sense to anyone. Making sense of it is probably a waste of all of our time. But thank you for sharing some of your time with us. Again, our deepest condolences to you, sir. Rodney Wells, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joining me now.